Oh, and hold on.
Boom. Oh, what? No?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Wait. No.
I
What's
already
the?
hit it.
Oh, for fuck. Okay, whatever. Hello, everybody.
Is there
Welcome.
something you have to say off the record?
I'm just wondering if like the mic's picking up anything other than my
Oh, good
sultry
point.
voice.
No, you sound great.
Okay. All right.
You sound like the wonderful man I married in some alternate reality where we're both gay and
Is this the Double D Experience cinematic universe that you and I are like basically just like, just married?
There's a fucking video online, right? It's like
Mhm.
it's from Chris Pratt, and it's
Yeah.
like a bunch of like people in like a movie theater, like when they were cheering when fucking Tony gets the Infinity Stones in his suit.
Mhm.
It was that, except instead of like the movie playing, it was the fucking countdown timer for when Hentai Haven was gonna go back online. And the whole theater was just like, ah!
I'm just imagining
Oh,
that scene
fuck.
when everyone comes out of the portals and it's just a bunch of fucking horny weebs, all just ready to jerk it off in unison to Hentai Haven.
Oh god, that's how they did it back then in the theaters, man. You actually used to have to go somewhere to watch porn back in the day. I know, because I was there. I'm actually 65.
But real talk, David, would you ever go to like a porn theater?
Fuck no.
Right?
I got
feel-
any kind. I can choose the titties that I
Yeah,
see from the comfort of
exactly.
my home, and now I have to just pick and choose from what, like some other weird, creepy, horny bastards offer me, with some mafia dudes in the back doing their shit. And if I don't like them, what do? No, now I not only like, the type of women that are presented before me, I have to jack off to them publicly. That ruins everything.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Hi everyone, welcome to the Double D Experience.
I was just about to introduce.
You were doing it, and I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a Monday today, guys. We are
Oh,
recording this
me-
on a Monday, so
me
we're in
and-
that Monday mood right now.
Yeah, Dennis is not lying on that front. You should have seen him. Usually me and Dennis will be like, hey, like to each other when we like open it up, or we'll say some dumb shit or whatever way that friend, really good friends open each other up.
Yeah.
Dennis got in the call, and I was just like, hey,
I mean, well, I started off like stumbling.
you did.
I was like, oh, wait,
Whoa, wow.
Also, David, you know how it's daylight savings?
Yeah.
You know how also a little backstory for you guys.
Yeah.
Me and David, we decided, we're gonna record this on Monday today, at 7:00.
Yeah, I didn't message this guy until like 10 o'clock last
Yeah.
night.
I also this is important. You know how it would be daylight savings right now?
Mm-hmm.
My clock on my fucking laptop, which was the thing that I was looking at all day,
Oh boy.
did not change
Oh boy.
from fucking 6 to 7. So David said, okay, let's record at 7. So I looked at my clock and I was just like, okay, I still got an hour. Like it was like 6:00 by the time David messaged me and said, hey, and dropped the link for us to record today. So I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was about to message him like, you're a little early, fam. And then I realized like a fucking idiot that like, oh wow, I didn't change my clock and it's still fucking 6 and or it's technically 7. But yeah, so I was just like frantically like jumped out of my seat. I was playing Persona 5 for a second, but like I jumped out of my seat and just like got my towel for the door, got my water, and just like had to tell my fam that like, hey, I'm gonna be recording right now. I was like in a sweat by the time like I got up, so I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get ready. And then yeah, now I am here recording.
You didn't tell me any of that.
No, I decided to save that for this moment because
Oh.
it was really funny that like one that I got the message and two that obviously like I honestly thought like, oh, he's a little early, and I was about to tell you like, hey yo dude, I thought we said 7, and then it's better that I just realized it then and told it now because I would have heard from you. No, you fucking moron! It's 7:00 right now.
Listen, man, my clock changed from 1:59 to 3 in the beat of an instant, and I was watching it as it happened. So I thought I just degened so hard that I stayed up till 3, and I'm like, fuck, did I really mess up my sleep schedule that bad?
Ugh.
And it turned out no, it was the double D cinematic universe, as you called it, that messed up my fucking sleep schedule for me. So that's where we're at now, Dennis. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys watching at home. We got a case of the Mondays.
Oh, for sure.
And the only cure is puss.
Puss and boobs. Puss and babs.
Only Dennis has access to right now because he's in the 1%. So he can actually get that fucking medication right now. Meanwhile, here's the common man out here trying to, like, work his way up in this world and get some fucking health insurance and one of these crummy menial jobs that he has. Brand ambassador work doesn't do that shit. I'm technically my own boss. You know how that shit looks on my taxes? Fucking asinine. It's horrendous. Dennis, listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I need pussy so bad. I just, it's been such a while because of this fucking virus, and I don't care. I'll come out and say it. I'll be honest with myself. I am an involuntarily celibate man, not because I'm an incel and I hate women. I don't. I worship women. I think they're fucking incredible. They make me retarded levels of horny. It's because there's a fucking virus out there that if I go and kashmoogity some girl's googus, I might die. So it's not even like, dude, imagine coming off of a breakup, right? Imagine coming off of like a very, very traumatic breakup. You don't even get the chance to rebound with anybody because then the world explodes immediately after that. That's been my life. That's been pretty much my year. And so I don't even care. As soon as shit opens up, Dennis, I'm going to the bar. I'm standing on top of it. I'm climbing on top of like the fucking, I'm stepping off of the stool. I'm standing up there and I'm going to get on that fucking, what is essentially a podium. I'm going to say, listen, everybody, I have an announcement to make.
You're gonna give like an Obama speech to a strip club?
Pretty much, yeah. And I'm gonna tell everybody, listen, I really hate myself. But on the bright side, I have a very girthy and 8-inch white dick. So if any of you want, AKA, yes, Dennis.
I'm gonna pop in, just chime in, like, AKA, he calls it the Cuban sandwich, and it's like,
actually, I don't. You do.
And you're just like up there, like rubbing your nose, like, oh my fucking god.
I thought you meant chime in, as in like right now when we're talking.
No.
You're in the bar and you're just in the back.
Like, I'm like your hype man in the back, and you're gonna be giving the speech, and then
it's true. I've seen it.
It's like, it's taking up the whole frame of the picture, and it's everyone, and all like there's like a mixture of like reaction from the women, and it ranges from like, it's like, oh, and then it's like, oh.
Be like, listen, man, I'm just it's been a year and a half because of this goddamn virus. Who wants some of this? Who wants to chomp on this fucking Cuban sandwich? Because listen, I'm aware that the human woman possesses a clitoris. I'm not gonna ignore it. I promise. I know most guys do.
I'm not gonna ignore it like a lot of you and your dads who were never there for your lives.
Like who probably did to your mom, which is probably why she was all angry all the time. I mean, you could blame yourself for that, but I don't think that's the case. Listen, I want to show you that every bit of problems that you and I both have can be solved in about 30, 45, maybe an hour, depending on how energized I am.
Plug in rice cold
show
brew.
You that every fucking problem that you have can be solved by my cock. It'll work out, promise. I'm aware that there's a clitoris. It's like a little window. You open up, it's like a fucking curtain, and it's like a little bean. How do I hold up? Let me. There you go. You just flick it like that, like a little bean, and
you're sounding like a person who just found out about sex and is just like, I need to tell the world about this.
Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Won't you listen to me? I just had some pussy, no ordinary pussy, the tastiest pussy in the sea. Hey man, you got to try this cooter. It's no ordinary cooter. It's the tastiest cooter in the sea.
I'm dying.
Scooby-doo-ba-dabba-doo-ba-dabba-doo-bow, yeah.
You were literally making me cry laughing.
I
like
can
throughout
tell.
that entire fucking part.
Hey, all you people.
Oh,
There's a guy like loses his
Lord.
virginity and then Fred like reacts like a fucking Disney movie and starts like dancing. And like there's actual like music playing in the background.
I mean, also considering how much stock we put into that as well. I mean, I guess for when you're young, I think even maybe it's a little bit different for women when they lose their virginity, but I mean, I guess for guys, it's like usually like stereotypically like go to our other guy friends and just be like, hey, yo, man, I crushed that pussy up. It's like,
Yeah, because it's like this internal accomplishment with them. Men are. It's one thing that women, or women that stereotypically, as they say, talk about a lot. Be like, oh, why do guys always like, talk to each other like about like, oh, whatever sex that they had recently. Women are not only way more in control of their sexuality and more liberal with it than guys are, but they're also 10 fucking thousand times more mature about it in like every aspect that you could possibly think of. Because what you're saying is accurate, dude. I'm not gonna lie, Dennis. If I got laid recently, I'd probably tell you. I'm gonna be even if you didn't ask for it. I'd probably be like, hey, guess what happened to me recently? I found a woman who you pretended not to hate me for about a half an hour behind a dumpster. I'll meet you behind the Wendy's.
And you're just like saying like, yeah, she looks so beautiful with garbage on her. Like, it's just like literally like at this point, like, you'd we'd said like if for most guys, like, we would fuck anything that moves. So it's like, just seeing her like and you being just deprived the way you are. It's just like, oh my God, it's gotta like, just all I gotta do is just take that banana peel off her face and just. Yeah.
Potassium.
Yeah.
If I just pretend I'm Donkey Kong, I'll actually get horny for this garbage woman.
So you're gonna scream like an N64 Donkey Kong?
Okay.
You just like come in her like 3 times and you're just like, okay.
Okay. Oh God. Not okay.
You have to pay me child support. Not okay.
I disagree with your point about guys fucking anything that moves. I wouldn't do that.
I think if we were deprived enough, yeah, we would.
Probably. I mean, that depends. If it's been like years, like, oh yeah, like I haven't seen a woman in 10 years. That's a little different.
Why is he,
at that?
Why is he Scottish?
Because like he's only seen. Yeah,
he's only seen man skirts.
I'm not.
He's only seen kilts all day at Edinburgh.
Look what I've got under me, kilt.
How funny would it be if like Scotland was so stereotypical that only the men wear skirts and then women never do?
Yeah, and they just wear like it's a stereotypical like guy wear, I guess, golf pants.
Oh yeah, with the checkered pattern or whatever. I don't even know. Not even checkered pattern.
Yeah,
it's like
maybe
plaid
like those
kind of looking patterns.
I don't know. I feel like women are more open to like wearing like guys' clothing and whatnot and back and forth. Whereas it depends. Like a straight dude is never really gonna do that. A gay person might, or I don't know, something else along those lines. But regardless, I gotta say something, dude. Human genitalia. This has been on my mind recently. I thought about it.
It's pretty gay, dog.
It's pretty fucking stupid when you actually think about it from like a no. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Go. Yeah.
Kids, gather around. Human genitalia is fucking dumb. From a logistical standpoint, it was not well designed. I don't question, whatever higher power, the universe, God, whatever, what they did. I'm sure it's all got a reason for it to work. Obviously, hey, it's a long stick for the guy, and the woman has a hole. The guy takes the stick, put it in the hole, and there you go, boom, sex. But then there's also like. Think about it, like there's this whole stereotypical aspect that, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of true in some aspects. You know what a lot of people and a lot of women say, because one true factoid, I'll give you a little sex education right here, I suppose. Men are insanely easy to please. We don't require much. If a woman is attractive enough, we have sex with them, we finish. It's easy for us in most of the time in that regard. Women, on the other hand, there's that stereotype about them that they take forever to come. And that's not even because, like, they have, like, that kind of problem. It's because, like, and even comedians joke about this. I know one comedian who does a lot. It's because men tend, when they're new at sex at least, they tend to ignore the clitoris. Which is, the thing that kind of... It's kind of important for pleasuring a lady, depending on how you're going to do it. And a lot of guys literally just ignore it straight up when they're doing their thing, because
when they're
guys
young,
are just dumb.
When
they're young, yes.
When they're in that young and stupid phase. I think as far as like the experience goes, like you have a couple more at bats. After that, like you start to realize, it's like, oh, so that's what that does.
Yes. But point is, it's like through like normal sex, right? How much does like the dick rub against the clit? I feel like normal sex is about like finding the woman's like G spot that's like deeper in her,
Yeah.
and that's what that's for. But then minus that, like the dick totally ignores the clitoris, and that's not the guy's fault. He's just having sex like normal.
Yeah. But
He's
like,
the guy who's
that
got to
thing's
like wrap his arm around and like actually reach for it. Meanwhile, he's on top of the girl arch. It's a really awkward thing to do that for a guy to please the clit while
It's completely
fucking the woman
off
at the same
trajectory.
time. Exactly.
Like, it's
and that's
nowhere
just from
near
its natural design. Thank you. So am I right? Isn't that stupid? I feel like if it just flowed more naturally like that, you know, like because for guys get all the pleasure from a woman just from fucking her normally. You know, they get all the warmth of the pussy and stuff and all like the warm, wet juices of it just from having normal sex with her. But then a woman has sex with a guy normally, and the clit is like totally ignored during the actual like intercourse of it. Yeah. So don't you think that's dumb? Don't you think that means like one of those two things is very poorly designed, or something just doesn't belong there, like Sesame Street? You know, like one of these things just doesn't belong here. You know what I mean? It's like it's just
one of these things ain't like the other. And David, you are right entirely. And I even will add on to that, to the list of genitalia that's kind of fucking stupid and poorly designed.
Right.
I think our nuts, like being as soft as they are.
Right.
Like one good, even just light, swift kick, we're on the floor dying.
Mm-hmm.
We're grabbing them. We're like begging to a higher power. Like it's like either it's like a cross between "Hey, kill me" or like "Oh, please, I will give my child to make this pain go away." Like it's just like we are literally just on our knees. If anything even makes contact, like David, like
yes,
even as into all the guys out there. Haven't you ever felt like even like just a swift, like not even like heavy, like not even like a real like you know thing to the balls, but it's like you tense up if like anything is flying towards you and the trajectory is towards your nads. Like you just twist up just a little bit because you're already foreseeing the pain that you're gonna have as soon as that foreign object hits you in the nuts, in the crown jewels. And like even in fights, which I don't fight, I don't think a lot of I feel as if like the average person like obviously
square on pussy,
wouldn't want to fight. Thanks, David.
It depends on how much of a meathead you are and
I mean like
how good your vocabulary is.
I mean, as far as like the human intelligence goes, like your first response when let's say a fight is coming towards you is that. Or at least it should be, is that I don't want to fight. Like, I think when it comes to, like, physical conflict, that should be, like, the very last resort. Unless, like, again, like, if you really have to fight someone, okay, fight somebody. If you can walk away from it, like, you know, okay, like, do so. But, like, that's why it's still pretty funny imagining some big 350-pound block of muscle walking up and squaring up to another guy. And it's like, if you could get like a swift kick to his nuts, maybe the guy is strong enough that he could withstand it. But at the same time, like, it's like there's a chance that, he'll just be keeled over like a fucking dead cow and just holding on to his nether regions because he's in so much fucking pain. And
that's called douche tipping.
That's that's the first time I heard of it, but I'd like the name. And
I just made it up.
David, you are a connoisseur of words, and I don't like you.
But, well, guess what? That me neither. But please continue.
But yeah, I think gonna bring some gender equality into this. I honestly feel as far as like both of like some components of our genitalia, there's a lot of parts of both in each that kind of do suck. One being that, at least for women, when it comes to the pussy. They bleed every month.
As the French say.
the pussy, with that little accent mark at where that Y is. Even though that's not where you're supposed to put it. But anyways, I digress.
Actually, hold on, you keep talking.
Like, women bleed every month. They get pregnant. They give birth to children.
The châté.
Is that what they call it?
I just looked up pussy in French. Yes.
The châté.
La châté. It means oh wow, look at that. It means pussy, cunt, fanny, twat. Holy shit. Le vagine. They call it le vagine.
Le vagine.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, you
it's-
French, you
I
horny.
mean, they call
horny
Paris
country.
They call Paris the city of love for a
I
reason.
mean, hey, the French invented the threesome.
I could believe that. David, I actually want to ask you, as far as, let's say, these two countries I'm about to name off, France or Italy, who do you think is more of the real romantic type, stereotypically? Italians or French people?
To answer this for you, and by the way, very quickly continuing on your point before. Actually, I'll get into that in a minute. If I had to choose, I think nowadays, not in the olden times. The olden times, I think both were incredibly romantic, and they're both Romance languages.
Yeah.
I would say Italy now, more so. I think Italy now is sort of the more romantic country, and France is
like
the
second?
horny one.
Do you think, though, like, as far as the romance is, like, they're just right below Italy now? They're, like, just right at their second?
Maybe. That's a possibility. I mean, we're all talking about stereotypes here.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like,
But
Pepe Le
like,
Pew and
honestly,
them
like
types, yeah.
to talk about some recent news for you guys right here. There was a bunch of people who were out too late past COVID curfew, and I think Paris or something recently, because they were having an 81-person orgy. 81 people. The cops had to come and bust that. First of all, I feel bad for those cops. That's awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
To come in, be like, oh dear God, Pierre,
Yeah, get the handcuffs.
come in here. Oh, what is that stink?
Make sure that it's disinfected. Holy shit, it smells like sin in here.
But yes, like since that's the recent news I saw from France, honestly, I would say if I had to choose, not that I've been to either countries, but I'll say
You should go, though. It's
I'd love to. Are you kidding? I would love to travel to so many places. I want to run into a field in the Scottish Hills and just scream at the sky after COVID, man. I'm serious, man. Like that's what I remember at the beginning of the pandemic. I was watching these specials about it and just looking at how beautiful those fields were, how sunny they were, and how how nice the breeze would probably feel, and the smooth greenery of the grass and the hills and the trees and everything. And I cried watching that shit. It was so beautiful to me. If I had to pick one, I'd say Italy, romantic, French, horny. Let's go with that.
Okay, all right, I could believe that. I've actually did hear. I've heard about the that bit of news from France.
Smells like sin in here.
It smells like sin in here.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Mon Dieu. Oh, sacre bleu.
Pierre, I'm going.
Like as soon as the guy says, as soon as one of the cops says "sacre bleu," he literally hears a dude from, like, let's say one of the rooms in the orgy house, like, scream out "sacre bleu!" Like
in the back, he's just nutting. He's not aware that the cops came back yet.
I mean, I feel as if he busted in, a lot of those people in, like, the back of the room and stuff probably would have no idea.
Right.
Like, they'd have no idea, like, at all, that the cops just came in, just, like, basically, well, it's like, I mean, it's funny enough. I imagine, like, the French cops would be just a little more civil about it. I could definitely see, not that I guess, like, I'm not even pointing at stereotypes, but I could definitely see if, like, if American cops were breaking up an orgy, they would probably be a little more rough with it. But, like,
if they were black,
maybe so. But I even feel like when it comes to, like, a lot of public disturbances like that, they would be a little more rough, no matter who it is.
Just the thing is, it wasn't even it was a disturbance. They were out. I forgot it was technically in public.
Past curfew,
at least in a public place, not like outside. I don't think it was outside. But
God, imagine like an 81-man public orgy.
Outside.
No, public orgy.
Jesus.
I mean, France is already kind of seen as the city of decadence nowadays, considering, like, everything that's been going on with it. But, like, if I saw that, it's like, wow, that's a new low for you, Paris. Damn. Just, wow. New York's going to shit too, but we don't got 81-person orgies out in the streets in Times Square. Like, damn.
Yeah, keep them 81-person orgies inside and ventilated where the COVID can just, spread all right. Which, by the way, you did that during COVID. Are you a psychopath? Like, dude, how horny do you have to be to have to go to an orgy now?
David,
I mean, don't get me wrong. People are getting vaxxed, and dude, real shit. You're probably gonna need to, like, if you're like in an underground sex club,
Probably have to flash them vaccine cards.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to. I mean, you remember that Game Grumps story about Danny Sexbang when he got invited to an orgy? You know, you have to send them a photo for them to deem if you're attractive enough to even like do it or whatnot. Which is, I understand that, and is also kind of offensive at the same time. I could definitely get into an orgy. I know I could. You could too. Maybe not as easily. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's all good. No. But I don't know, man. What if they respond back like, you're fucking ugly?
I mean, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not here to like ruin no establishment and shit. But it's just kind of like, also,
orgies.
I mean, hey, like the very fact that it's as organized as it is, like at least Danny's sex ring that like he was trying to get into, or orgy ring, whatever.
He wasn't trying to get into it. He just got invited.
Okay, well, I mean, like if he tried to get into it, like the very like fact that they have this whole series of processes that like that you got to do, sign this paper. I mean, they probably should have like a sex and drugs check on you.
Yeah.
Like obviously, just for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But like, funny enough, like I couldn't like. I feel as if they're. Even if they're underground, like, of course, like, they would have to be careful with that because, like, God forbid if, like, one person gets AIDS, 3 more people could get AIDS, and God forbid
everyone there's getting AIDS.
Everyone's getting AIDS, just like how in that music number from Team America: World Police.
Well, maybe not everyone. That depends on if you literally fuck everyone there. Which, if it's an orgy,
is that not what an orgy is, though?
There's a lot of people, dude. 81. Which, by the way, can we talk about that for a second? In terms of going to an orgy, minus even, like, the STDs and all that shit, most guys cannot pleasure one woman. You're walking into a room with, like, 19.
Without performance-enhancing drugs, though.
Without performance-enhancing drugs, or whatever. Wait a minute. Wait. You all have clits? Babe, I thought that was just you. What the fuck?
I don't think like some
Are you
novice
serious?
is gonna be invited to like a sex ring though.
You don't think who would be invited to a sex ring?
Like a novice. Like
a novice?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. It all depends on who you know. Just like everything else in this fucking life, talent doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
You know the right people. It's boom, bada bing, bada boom, you get in. It's only afterwards, once you get the connections and you get the gigs that you get because of your connections, that people realize you're a talentless fuck, and then you get removed from your positioning. At least that's how it can sometimes work in my neck of the woods. Not that there's nothing wrong with networking. It's very important, which that's a very passionate topic that I could talk about for a very long time, because I went to Montclair State. They shoved that shit down our throats 24/7. Listen, if you are not networking 24/7, if you are not constantly on LinkedIn 24/7, talking to all those boomers who still use LinkedIn, getting those connections over and over and over again at 24/7, getting alerts in the middle of the night, you are destined for failure, and your life is going to succumb to absolutely nothing. It's just like, no, Montclair. They shoved that down our throats a lot. The thing that's going to make us destined for failure is our student loans for us to go to your fucking sub-rate institution over and over again like that. Not that Montclair's sub-rate in every way, it depends on frankly, it depends on your major, if you, like, what you major there at, if we're being completely honest. The point is, no, that's not what that's about. You literally just want people to go that ham on networking, so, like, you could just say, oh, this person who did this amazing thing and got this great, like, journalism gig at NBC News? Yeah, they were from Montclair. We just sort of bring them up like that. Give us your money. Send your kids here. That's what it's about. It's the same thing for, like, buying, like, fucking textbooks when you go to those places. You know how expensive textbooks are? It's not for no reason. It's so their fucking teachers can buy a car. Yeah. That's what that shit is for. Oh, my God, man.
They get them commissions and kickbacks, too.
Dude, that school made me feel like such a piece of shit. Like, it always made me feel like no matter what, I was not doing enough. Meanwhile, I'm there just trying to fucking figure myself out. And we literally had, like, these things we had to go to as communication and media majors, these, like, colloquium series and shit, that pretty much they were all about, like, these motivational speakers or some shit who told us, like, yeah, here's how you network, LinkedIn, this and that. If you're not doing this, you're pretty much, you're gonna fuck up. You're already a fuck up in life and shit. And it's like, that's pretty much how it came across. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe it's because I have a pretty bad tendency to not believe in myself. There's no middle ground when it comes to me. I'm either insanely confident or I fucking despise myself. There is no in between for old tunist. I'm serious.
No, no, no.
I don't
I've been
do
there.
anything
I've
where I'm
been
just
there,
like,
that's why.
I'm okay. I'm either the most confident person in the room, or I'm the guy that sits in the corner. There's no in between for me.
I have stuff to go off of the stuff that you just said.
Please.
One about college. I honestly feel that, especially with college, and I completely agree with like at least because I attended Montclair as well, and for anyone even attending like a 4-year school right now, you'll
Sorry.
quickly. Same here. Yeah, sorry to hear that. They you'll realize quickly of how different colleges from, let's say, like a public school setting, because one, it is very much a numbers game. It is very much a business. First and foremost is what a
Thank you.
college is.
Thank
It
you.
is like more than anything out there in the world right now. And considering how big and important college is in American culture, going to college, getting a degree, getting a job, like thing after that degree, that is so ingrained in American society that at least at this point, the college boards and all the people who at least are presidents or who have a share or a stakeholder within those colleges, they all they have basically perfected the business and the marketing of college. Montclair, in particular, if any one of you guys don't know, like Montclair State University, that's located in Montclair, New Jersey. Um, for a while when I was attending there, I don't know if they're still running the same ad campaigns and like marketing that they're doing now. I haven't really seen any of the newer material that they're doing with advertisements, but one of the things that they showed in one particular ad that I remember from when I was attending was the New York skyline. Which I found,
Mm,
which one thing that I remember my professor was telling me that
mm,
he was actually I was part of the history department, and my professor that who I'm talking about right now, he actually was like the poster boy for like the history department. And me and him were talking, and like he was even saying that like, yeah, you notice how like the for the advertisements they show the New York skyline, and he asked me why do you think that is. And I'm like, because New York is better than Jersey. Because it's like, why would you want to fucking have why would you even want to think about having like a future here, like as far as like jobs go and shit? Because also at the same time, New York, as far as their job market, is always gonna be. It's not even that much bigger, considering how like small the market is now and like how saturated almost every fucking field is now at this point. But like New York is always gonna just have like a bigger market, and it's always just even more, I guess, grand to say that, oh, I got a job in New York because New York being what it is and like the sort of like pedigree that it has as far as like the city goes, and plus like just the name New York. A lot of the greats that we know of, like, they all came from there, one way or another. It just has like that sort of, I guess, reputation now at this point, and Montclair was advertising that like real heavy, that like they were showing off like several pictures of the New York skyline and everything, just basically saying like, hey, never mind this shit state, go get a job there. As if it's any easier to get a job in New York, obviously. Like,
yeah.
it's not that much easier.
Yeah,
Like,
the whole
not
thing
easier at
is.
all. Like, but and then going off of David's point uh about even networking,
Yeah.
it's uh it's sad to say, but yes, it is the truth. It is an unfortunate truth because I mean, during like the GI days and stuff, like after World War II, like a lot of the guys who came back like basically went to college, and after they finished, got a job. I wouldn't say fairly easily, but at
Because
least,
they could get one.
yeah, because like back in those days, it was at least it was a lot easier to get one during those days compared to now, because we just have obviously a lot more people. Population is fucking, I don't know like if it has like basically doubled or tripled, but it's definitely increased since like the 50s.
Hmm.
There's a lot more people here than there were like several decades ago. The markets are basically like the job markets specifically are basically just saturated at this point. And there is like networking is basically show me what you can do, but show me that you can do it better than these people. I mean, that's also basically what like going in for a job interview is. Tell me like thing that you can do this job in 10 words or less better than that dumb fuck that was here 2 seconds ago.
Right.
And also, who do you know? That's the name of the game now. It's do you how well do you know it, which is important. I'm not discounting like thing at least anyone's skill in anything, but also knowing people is definitely the name of the game now compared to how it was once way back when. I mean even people back then were also networking, but it wasn't like what do you call it, like the end all be all thing you needed to get a job. Because if you didn't know this poor fuck, then you're not getting nothing as far as a job, you poor fuck. So that's like basically like I suppose like the name of the game nowadays. And it's I want to say at least a couple things about it. I do find it, at least in a lot of ways, unfair, because if there is a person out there who is trying to get a job, who is more than qualified to do it, but he lost it simply because of the fact that, oh, I didn't know person X, Y, and Z. Yes, that is most unfortunate. At the same time, it would piss me the fuck off too.
I don't think that's like unfair though, is the thing. A person can't hire you if they literally do not know you exist.
If I applied for the job, then that whole thing, at least on paper, should not matter. But I'm saying unofficially, yes, it does matter because that is the name of the game now.
I mean, I could have put out applications for like the Double D experience as a co-host. I 30 times out of 10 would have rather chosen somebody that I know and who I already like, who would have fit the tone of the podcast that I'm looking for, and somebody who is a friend of mine. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked in that case. But I mean,
for technical jobs, like a software engineer.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, no, of course, and like if you hire somebody that you know who is not skilled at the job you're looking for, you're a moron.
Yeah,
that's a whole different ballpark.
And that's on you if he fucks up. That's on you if you fuck up. If he fucks up, that's on you. Everyone knows that's like basically a ladder just going down.
Yeah.
I got that guy hired.
Equal skilled. Yeah, if it's somebody equal skilled, and if there's somebody equal skilled, and one of them is someone you know, and the other person is someone you don't, then honestly, why would you not hire the person you know? That's just fucking way better. You would anybody who says that that's bullshit in that kind of case. If you were the employer, you would absolutely do that 1,000 times.
Obviously.
Say that. I just hate it. When I'm
just saying if the guy was underqualified.
That's what I'm saying.
Underqualified piece of shit, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I pick him anyways because I know him.
Yeah.
He might not be as qualified as the next person that's about to come in, but at the same time, like, I know him and I'm familiar with him.
Like, yeah, I hired my nephew to come work at the firm with us guys. His face is just constantly in his phone. He's already making more money than you.
Yeah.
He's like the fucking boss's nephew or some shit. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that's like, yeah, that's just nepotism. That's the kind of stuff that's bullshit. And I hate how instead of really just educating us to really just be necessarily the best we can be, I feel like Montclair at the School of Communication and Media taught us one thing. They just said network. And I felt like I was paying tuition for them to tell me all I need to learn in life is networking.
You paid for that
that shit pissed me off to something fierce. And in my neck of the woods, in like the Smash community, like there's, I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, and I'm not saying I'm so jealous of anybody or some shit, but if we're being honest, this is the way we all know it, and this is how it works in esports in general, there is a hierarchy to commentators. That's a thing. That's absolutely a thing. Like it's the same guys who really do like the big top 8s for like the real nationals and the majors and stuff most of the time. They're the people who are the most popular. They're the people everybody knows. And to get to, that point, you gotta, just wait for them to die or just like...
or you kill them yourself.
Or make them die.
Hire like a hitman to take them out. Hey, this guy, make it look like an accident, okay? All right.
Yeah, no, for sure. But then sometimes, if you do something for as long as I have, and then you see like newcasters come out of the woodwork and suddenly they have thousands of followers and they're getting gigs that, other TOs aren't even talking to you about anymore, that makes you feel like a piece of shit. That makes you feel like either these people just don't like you anymore, or you are doing something wrong. And that's one of the things that sort of gives me PTSD back to Montclair about that, because literally all they told us was networking. And it's like they're so like true about that. Networking is important, but anybody listening, don't let it overwhelm you like I let it did me. If you're gonna network, definitely work at it, But try your best to just keep it as organic as possible,
Yeah,
man.
keep yourself
Because
genuine too, like throughout the whole
exactly.
process. Because again,
Otherwise, it could blow up in your face.
yeah, because when you're networking, you're basically working ads. The ad is basically you.
Yeah.
Like the product is you. You're the person that you're advertising, and you got to be out there and at least. I think when it comes to even advertisements, obviously there's a lot of bullshit that goes into it. Like as everyone fucking knows, like everyone's been into Times Square, and everyone kind of just smells the bullshit whenever you see those jumbotrons with the shitty ads that running in like on there. It's like, oh, this perfume will fucking make you look young, but at the cost of your life and soul, like shit like that. But and the blood of your firstborn,
Oh.
and your penis, and basically, what I'm
Oh.
trying to get at is that is basically that
Oh no.
when you're networking, same as David before, like I guess I'll just reiterate, keeping yourself genuine and basically also like don't try to be nobody that isn't you. Keep yourself
It's
as
hard.
you as you like network. It is hard, but at the same time though, you lose a bit of your soul if you like. I mean, there's that thing called imposter syndrome, which I'm sure everyone kind of knows about. Fake it till you make it. Everyone's heard the same
Story of
thing.
my fucking life.
Yeah. And like look, it's it just think of it this way. As far as the alternatives when it comes to networking the right way, I mean, I'm gonna just say flat out, like, just keeping yourself genuine is like the best approach that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Just like don't ever try to be someone that you're not, because one, you're gonna feel like shit. I mean, let's say if you did make it, sure, like I mean, who's to say? Like maybe there's some guy that literally just faked till
And
he
what
made
does
it.
make it even mean? That means something different to so many people.
Mhm.
And it's like, also, it's really important to really try your best to not compare yourself to other people. And trust
Yeah.
me, I know that's fucking hard. That's really, really,
I've been there
really,
too.
really fucking hard. I can't lie to you on that front. I even was telling Dennis I was being a sad boy last week. I was telling him, like, listen, man, it just feels like a lot of the shit I do doesn't matter in the long run because it feels like I just don't know the right people. My YouTube, I was never too proud of it. I mean, I was very proud of it for a very long time, but then I feel like it just plateaued, and I had to make shit that I really did not want to make or was sick of making in order to get any views. And even those videos were like declining in popularity. Like I put so much effort into this new Smash series that I was working on, and it didn't even get into the quadruple digits. And I'm like, I'm wasting my fucking time doing this because that's a little below my expectations at this point. Am I being a dick? Maybe I'm just expecting too much of myself. I don't know, but like, it's just rough, and it's important to pull your head out of that place. I'm already in a much better mood than I was before, even sitting here talking to my buddy. Like I was in a shit mood before even switching the lights on this episode. I didn't even feel like doing it, if I'm being completely honest, but I wasn't going to put Dennis off or put myself off or use my bad mood as an excuse because I don't want to do that in my real life. And I went through it, and I already feel better. So sometimes it's baby steps like that in order to just, get yourself to the place you want to be, set realistic goals like I'm trying to do with another line of work that I'm trying to break into right now. It's like, but point is, I hated this fucking inorganic shit that like Montclair taught us. It's like they were trying to teach us the right way to network, like we were a bunch of fucking inbred chimpanzees with our cocks in our hands, and the audience just like needing you to like tell us all this stuff.
And give me money.
Really made me think of like all the kind of stuff you can learn from college just from even sitting in a book. It's like, you want to know what it is, Dennis? Like you mentioned, it's a business. It's like capitalism infected something that is deemed still a true complete necessity, like college.
I feel as if also one thing, sorry. College
It's a racket.
College is education corrupted. Personally, for me.
Incarnate. That's the fucking
Yeah.
that's the most simple way you could have possibly described that.
Like education in its true form, like in its purest form, is a very good and positive thing. But obviously, like when it comes to a lot of things in America, like nothing is free. I don't know if I particularly would agree with free college right off the bat. That's another whole political stance that like I'm not really going to try to get into. But I personally do feel as if like colleges are so ridiculously expensive now, and as far as the standards that like, I mean, I usually think of, okay, if things are getting more expensive, that would at least, for me, I would be expecting, okay, a higher standard of education. But I've seen Bergen Community College, which I'm sure a lot of people, at least our Jersey audience, kind of knows, is like one of the biggest community colleges out there in the fucking entire tri-state area.
It's a great fucking school.
Yeah, and already that school, I remember going to it. I was paying $3,000. It's gone up to $8,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And I actually how long ago? Like six years about?
A little more than that.
Oh, suck my nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But here's the thing though. I don't even know either. Maybe I think Bergen did open up a few more facilities as well. Like, so again, like, I mean,
I'm sure that's what they're always working for.
Yeah. They're always like adding stuff and like making sure that like all their students are getting a bit of education that they need as far as like their subjects and such.
Yeah. They added the communication and media building that has that skyline view of New York City in the middle of my time in that exact major that they built that building for. So like, that's what colleges are doing. They're always trying to expand.
Okay.
Manifest destiny, motherfucker. You know, just dynamite the wall.
Yeah, I mean, again, like at least as far as like I do agree with you, and I do
Native Americans.
gotta exterminate them. But that golf course that's on Bergen Community, that probably was Indian land. I bet.
Oh, are you kidding?
I mean, it probably wasn't.
All of America was Indian land.
I know, but it's like just knowing that like. It's not even that, like, it's one thing if you built like a city on top of it. You built a fucking golf course. It's like God. I feel as if I was to take like
I need a place to link up when I visit Jersey.
If I was an Indian, or if I was like a Native American, and if I had to pick a pill to swallow, I would rather know that my land is like now like a Popeyes. I would rather know that than knowing that my land is now a fucking shitty golf course where boring ass people go to make and swing some fucking balls around, and like
now.
Yeah, like I mean, look, like a lots in life, like thing as far as there's like a lot of points in our life where like we kind of have to like at least there's some points where we have to basically swallow a pill that we don't want to swallow. And again, like thing, if I'll say it again, if I was a Native American and if I knew that my land was being like basically inhabited by other people, but if I knew that a delicious Popeyes was on top of it, I would feel less bad about that than knowing that it was a fucking golf course. I'm just saying. And like, look, at least I could go on that land and eat some fucking delicious chicken.
At least now I know I can get the fucking greatest chicken sandwich in the country. On top of, my fucking great-great-great-grandfather's resting place.
It's like there's one tile in like the fucking Popeyes is like the exact spot where his ancestor was buried. It's like yep, this is right where Uncle Dance with Wolves was killed. Right here.
Cherokee Pride.
Cherokee Pride. He like does like that gang sign, like does the fist to the heart, and then just
gang sign.
Does the peace sign. It's like rest in peace, Uncle.
Pours like a fucking like Dr. Pepper out that he got from like the soda fountain over across the way.
He like tears off pieces of the chicken and just like throws it like onto the tile.
Oh, dude, the skin's the best part. It's fried chicken. Why would you do that?
I know, but like this is like a ceremony thing. Like imagine.
Oh yeah, ceremony sacrifices the best parts of the food. That's unfortunate. Obviously not unfortunate. Obviously, you do your thing, but
my land is Popeyes now. Like I gotta look at the bright side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the point. Point is, you're not doing some inorganic thing wrong. If you're being yourself and you're putting yourself out there and you're meeting people in an organic way, guess what? You're networking. You're doing it because networking is essentially just being a person. Don't feel like there's this fucking like straight up business way. I spent this many hours doing this today, and if I didn't meet my networking quota today of meeting people that have fucking nothing to do with my industry or my field or anything, well, whatever, you're a failure. No, you're not a failure. Like, people go at their own pace, man. I'm not where I thought I'd be when I was 24, and I could tell myself I'm a failure, but then it becomes a self-manifesting destiny. I feel like Montclair put this unrealistic expectation on myself that I should just be introducing myself to people. And I'll tell you something about fucking networking for a second if you want to hear it. When I was looking for a job 2 summers ago, right? I went to Bergen Community College. I visited there because they were having like a retail job job fair.
We're selling jobs.
We're selling jobs.
We're auctioning off jobs. What's this burger flipping job? Hey, going on. Oh, I want to be like.
That'll be 50.
I want to be like an auctioneer.
People have told me I should be an auctioneer. I think I could definitely.
$5, $6. Oh my god, I hear there's $7 in there. $7 going once.
Oh my god! Oh my god! My mouth really hurts. Oh, that's $7. Fucking go.
Sold to the immigrant. Because nobody's working those jobs other than them.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
You cannot fit in these kicks. But
no white kid's gonna be working at no fucking thing McDonald's.
if they're young enough.
That is true. If you're in high school and shit, it's like kind of like I'll take whatever the fuck I can get.
Yeah. The point is, like, I was talking to this guy who was in charge there, right? Because I believed in this weird inorganic form of networking. Instead of just walking up to one of these job kiosks, I was taught, go to the biggest guy there and introduce yourself, hand him your resume, and it'll be good to go. They still think you could just walk into a place with your resume and you'll get a job. These fucking boomers preaching that shit. It's changed so much.
So many hoops.
And this guy scoffed at me. Like, he thought I was an idiot for coming up and, like, talking to him like this. He's like, oh, well, you can walk up to one of these kiosks or whatever and do your thing. Like, I was bothering him or some shit. And then the fair was pretty much over by that point, and I walked away feeling like a piece of shit. Oh, I didn't network right. I'm a failure. Like, well, Montclair didn't do me right or whatever. And it made me feel like I was a piece of shit. This guy was scoffing at me as if, like, he was above me for being in charge of, like, all these retail positions or whatever at this kiosk. And then literally 2 months later, I get a DM from a fucking Nintendo representative. A guy who works at a fucking Fortune 500 company, one of the biggest fucking companies in the world, Nintendo. Have you ever heard of him before?
I don't know.
Offering me, asking me to apply for a brand ambassador position. And why? Because they knew that I was a huge Nintendo guy, because on my resume I said I was a Smash Brothers commentator. For something that I was doing for free, for years at that point, something that was a passion project of mine, something that I enjoyed, wasn't a waste of time because I wasn't making any money. It led somewhere, eventually. Because you never know where life is going to take you, and no fucking suited prick in front of a podium at some rich preppy school or whatever telling you this is the one way to success is ever going to be able to actually convince me of that. Because there is no one way to success. You literally never know where life is going to take you. Do you think I expected to go on Indeed that day and get a DM from the fucking head Northeast representative of marketing for Nintendo? Did you think I expected that? No. Not in a million fucking years did I do that, but it happened because I was doing something that I loved for years, and I was fortunate in that regard. You literally never know where life is going to take you. It's an open book, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So don't let anybody tell you that life is this open and shut thing and that there's this one way to success, because chances are they got there through some pretty lucky means on their own end as well. Not that that didn't work for nothing in their life.
Yeah, it's a
but
mixture
there's
of
no
both.
one fucking way to that, okay? Literally, like, a guy was scoffing at me for asking him about retail jobs, and then I get offered to work as an ambassador for Nintendo, all right? Suck my cock. All right? That's my piece
Honestly,
on that.
yeah, fuck that guy and fuck his kids. Cause
Like, literally, dude, there's a guy.
I don't know why his kids.
There's a guy I know. I hate that billionaire mindset. Life is all about the hustle. Wake up, hustle.
Well, I
Go
mean,
to sleep, hustle. Brush your teeth, hustle. Eat your breakfast, hustle. Suck a cock, hustle. Eat that pussy, hustle. Walk the street, hustle. Drive your Maserati, hustle. Go to the McDonald's drive-through, hustle. I hate those fucking billionaire mindsets. Let me say one more thing.
Okay.
I love you, Dennis. Let me say one more thing. Because I hate that, because I know people that I've even worked with on commentary gigs and, like, announcing gigs and shit before, right? Who retweeted stuff that's all about the hustle, like, all about shoot your shot, you know, like, they all have that whole thing. It was, and you want to know the thing he retweeted?
What?
It was Prince Harry at, like, this fucking gala or whatever for a bunch of, like, celebrities and rich people or whatnot, asking the CEO of Disney for a voiceover gig for his wife. Guess what, asshole? It's not about shooting your shot. It's the fucking prince. That guy can walk up to the CEO of Disney, ask for a job for his wife, and get it.
But you know,
You can't do that. I can't do that. Stop retweeting that life is all about shooting your shot and all about the hustle. You really think if you walked up to the fucking CEO of Disney, he would do that for you? You're living in a fucking fantasy land if you think that. It's the fucking like, you conveniently forgot that was like a fucking, like, celebrity who was doing that. There's a hierarchy, motherfucker. All right, like, there's a reason how those things work. So don't be giving false hope to these people saying shoot your shot with the CEO of some company. I got laughed at by, like, some fucking dude who was in charge of a retail fair. All right, and then 2 months later I was working for Nintendo because of stuff that I did. don't preach this billionaire mindset, shooting your shot. Like it's, dude, you don't have a connection with the CEO of Disney. Shut the fuck up. Like, dude, you're not banging George Clooney's sister-in-law. All right, nobody believes you. I don't know, but this guy tells me. This guy walks up to me and tells me, he's like, dude, it's George Clooney's sister-in-law. I swear.
Why do you sound?
I swear to God, it's George Clooney's sister-in-law.
Why do you sound like Man Bear Pig?
Guys.
Wait, no, not George.
We totally gotta stop George Clooney's sister-in-law.
What was his name? Oh my God.
Al Gore.
Al Gore, yeah. Oh God.
We totally gotta stop George Clooney's sister-in-law.
I just know him as Man Bear Pig Man.
That's who he was.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready to go to the supermarket, cause it's time to get cereal.
Okay, a couple things to David's points. I think I would kind of have to at least just push back a little bit on like the billionaire mindset, which at least for me, I don't really call it that. I just at least call it like
they do.
Sure, but I feel as if for me, and I think for a lot of like just people who are just like on the grind, it's you gotta keep working at it. That's the thing. It's gonna be like no matter what you're gonna be trying to do in life, and especially if it is a difficult, let's say, dream that you have, it is gonna take lots of hard work. Like, I don't think anybody could possibly disagree with that and be at least, or if they were gonna disagree with it, actually be very serious about the disagreement, because you do gotta work hard. You do gotta, like, go on, get on the grind, like, get at it, like, then keep going and just, basically fight for it. Fight for your dream, fight for your goal, whatever it may be. But again, like, I even will iterate that there will be days that, like, you will feel like you want to quit. And the one thing you got to always tell yourself is that, like, if you quit, what's the next option? And I think I'll even say this, and it's corny as fuck, but like any dream worth having is always going to be hard. Like, yeah. I think anything that you'd want, like, that you really want in life, it's more meaningful when, like, obviously it is a very difficult thing to obtain. I mean, again, like, certain things can also be, I guess, a bit of a, exception. Like, if you win the lottery, that doesn't take no fucking work. But you just buy tickets and you just hope to God that, like, your number is called. And, like, I remember, like, one time, like, this one guy, like, he just was like, I mean, a lot of the lottery stores are all the same. They're always just, like, some guy to, oh, yeah, I went to the convenience store, bought some tickets, and then lo and behold, I'm a millionaire. Because they called the numbers.
And then he winds up homeless.
He winds up homeless, or I remember there was this one guy who won like 3 times. I'm like, yo, after that, it's just like, don't play. You're you're banned. You should be banned from playing the lottery if you won 3 fucking times. If you win more than twice, it's just like, yo, all right, enough. You what's this guy's name? Put him on the blacklist. He ain't getting no fucking tickets no more. Fuck that guy.
Put that guy on the FBI blacklist.
Yeah, there's something that's fishy about him. He probably fixed this or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's just because of like if let's say all the people in the United States played the lottery, that's 330 million people. You have a 1 in a 330 million chance to fucking win that lottery. And like, if you won that 2-3 times, like clearly some higher being up there loves you. Or at the very least, like you were blessed with some ridiculous luck. And again,
maybe he hates you and just wants you to like fall the long way down instead of
maybe just like that fall from grace. I mean, those could be real rough to see though.
Oh, those stories, dude, when they blow it all on, like, like these fucking yachts and hookers and stuff, the bill comes around, they become coke addicts or whatever because they feel like, fuck it, I have all this, let's bring myself down a notch by trying the world's most addictive drug. That's a fucking smart idea. And, yeah, it's like, I've never heard of somebody winning the lottery who's, like, still doing well for themselves. Like, I've never heard of someone winning the lottery and then they do good with it. If that, not to sound pessimistic, but like, either they do good with it, but point is they're not still like millionaires or whatever. Like something happens, like more often than not. And also, Americans are just inherently greedy, at least culturally speaking. Like when it comes to money, capitalist culture. Yeah, like we will kill. Like the very fact that we're like bending over for China right now, like already tells you like where we're at as far as like greed goes. Like the very fact that like
we are willing to basically have child slavery, make our shit, and then buy it without no remorse, already tells you that like that's basically the that's like the MO for Americans nowadays. Or at least not for the average Americans, but at least for the ones who have all the power. Let's say like a lot of these guys in these corporations. Those guys, like, they couldn't give a flying fuck about some Chinese kid across the sea making a Nike sneaker.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't give a flying fuck about him. And that's
Just do
why,
it.
and just going back to even just luck, everything that you guys are going to be doing in life is definitely going to be a mixture of hard work and a little bit of luck. Hard work is one thing that there will be times I think you do want to give up, but at the same time, like, just know that even when you do feel that way, just think of it like this. What is your alternative then? I mean, if you guys have different separate dreams, I think that's probably a very good thing, and it's also lucky that you even have that, because some people are even in like that just one track mind state where it's like, this is the only thing I have. I can't do nothing else. It's either this or bust, basically.
Yeah, I've that's me, but with women. And I've been watching close enough, and I didn't think it was possible, but that show actually did make me kind of want to have a wife again. And after after last year, I didn't think that was possible, if I'm being honest. But there you go, it's sort of happened again, and that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother thing, because, I mean, I haven't talked to, like, there are certain things that can definitely hold a person back mentally as well, if they feel like something is incomplete in their life, or there's something that's missing, or they've been doing something wrong. And I sometimes feel like that, in regards to, my ex-girlfriend and some other people that I used to associate with, like, as long as it's been since I've spoken to them, there's still a part of my gut that tells me I'm doing the wrong thing. But I wasn't before. I needed to be something on my own. And, it's been a year at this point, so who knows, maybe something has changed on that front. But that's the kind of thing that can definitely, like, fuck somebody up in the head as well, in terms of holding them back for their careers if they got demons and shit. Like, I know I do, in terms of holding me back on that front. But, yeah, it's wild, man. Networking is definitely a hell of a topic. I'm really happy we finally got to talk about this.
And even just outside of networking, just achieving your dreams. Like, it is all about networking, hard work, and plus a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
And
they say don't let your memes be dreams. Don't let your dreams be memes. That's the real one right there. Don't let your dreams be memes.
Everyone can always quote the wise man Shia LaBeouf.
I was just fucking thinking about Shia LaBeouf. That's the same thing. That's exactly who I was thinking about.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, guys. And
man, he's a psychopath now.
I mean, I feel kind of bad for him, though. I think
he's still got a lot of money. I don't
even know if he... I mean, it's one thing if he has money, but he's, like, shunned from the industry, like, almost as a whole now at this point. I don't know if it's going to be, like, anytime soon. Okay.
I heard that. What part of your computer decided to not work anymore? What was that?
Everything. Imagine it's just like podcast over.
Denise? Hello?
Dennis has been replaced by the Dennistron 1000.
Dennistron 1000.
Offensive Asian joke.
I was just
offensive joke. Offensive joke. Women belong in the kitchen. Ha 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 ha. Burger King was right. Burger King was right. Burger King was right. Burger King was right. It just gets louder.
Boy, I could sure go for a tasty filled Whopper.
It is chock full of oppression.
Flame broiled to oppression.
You could really taste the misogyny.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an asshole. I'm glad she's dead.
This burger really takes you back to the 1950s.
Better days. Fucking misogynistic robot. I hate women so fucking much.
But you can't even call it like an insult because it's not even gonna. He knows he's not gonna fuck a woman anytime soon. He just hates women like as a whole.
Just be like listen, like racist, like sexist Roboto. You didn't have a good relationship with your motherboard, did you?
I never
And, like
had.
a lone piece of oil just falls like from its eye.
Why did you?
Fuck
have to
you,
bring,
David.
Why did you have to bring that up? You know that's one of my trigger sentences.
I'm just saying, maybe if you got to maybe if you got to the bottom of it, you might have a better attitude towards women, and then maybe you'll be able to be with one on your own.
David, I am a robot. There is no woman out there. Actually, no, maybe not. There are some crazy people out there that would fuck robots. So, I mean, I guess it's not off the table. But at the same time, I'm also wondering, I would question that person's sanity just a little bit, knowing that he's literally fucking an android. You know what I
Have
mean?
you seen the AI that they are creating in Japan? Hot stuff.
I was a test subject. It was some freaky dicky shit.
Have you ever been to a robot orgy?
I would feel like really worried for my genitals if I went to like, let's say, if that's the future down the line, and it's like just like the year 2300, and it's like we have like robot orgies now, and I'm just like one guy showing up to one of these things, and it's like his friend was hyping it up the night before. It's like, yo, man, it's gonna be fucking sick, dude. Like, I honestly feel women are gonna be in a lot of trouble if we just start to fuck robots, because that also will just tell you like you're out of a job at that point. As far as like,
you by women, do you mean prostitutes?
no,
or just women in general? You think guys are just gonna straight up stop being with women if they can fuck robots?
if they could fuck robots, and then if I don't think siring kids is like really that big on like a guy's agenda until they reach a certain point in their age. Like for me, it's like not even on my fucking mind at all. But it's like I would like to eventually, not at the moment, just not. No, I'm way too young for that shit. Even though I feel old inside. But I honestly feel like it's. I want to be half funny and half serious about this. I think truly, like, if we could find a robot that looks really good, like looks exactly like a human woman, but we know that it, or I guess she/it is basically not a human being. The very fact that I think because bestiality exists, it's like we some of us just don't care. And I honestly feel like for us, for us, as long as it looks like a woman, we will fuck it like a woman. And not to mention, I even bet you those robots will do everything that a woman is basically stereotypically or traditionally kind of expected to do. It will cook, it will clean, and it won't bother us. So like,
I really, really, really want to disagree with you, but I can't, because furries are a thing, and furry cons are a thing, and those are whole like festivals for people who like to fuck animals that look like humans.
Anthropomorphic
And
whatever.
anthropomorphism.
Yeah.
No, anthropomorphism is when an animal can talk.
Oh, okay, my bad then.
I don't think it necessarily means human features. I could be dead wrong about that, but point is that is very much a thing. It doesn't exist in nature, obviously, so obviously they don't do that. They just dress up in furry suits and think they're officiated to marry people because they have the power vested in them by the fandom. That's a literal clip. I think I've shown you that before.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was
Something else.
Definitely going in the cringe compilation, Miss Turner. For sure. But I don't know, man. That's like fucking a robot. It's kind of. I've never seen that Joaquin Phoenix movie. There was a Joaquin Phoenix movie called She, in which he falls in love with an AI, and the AI is voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Because if there's a woman casting in Hollywood, Scarlett Johansson.
It's always
does it,
ScarJo.
She's the only actress who exists. And
why can't you
there's
get
a whole
Kara
movie
Strong?
about.
She's in everything. Why can't you get her?
She's too hot to be reduced to an AI voice. Even though she's a voice actress.
Yeah, literally.
Dude, I had my straight awakening in an episode of Chowder. Right?
Was she in that show?
Yeah, she voiced Truffles. She was Mung Dahl's wife.
Oh.
Yeah, and there was an episode where, like, do you remember the joke that they did where, like, the three of them, like, dip into their, like, emergency savings fund and start blowing the money on, like, just menial shit? And then they'd bring it all home and they'd be like, yeah, I'd like you to put the hot tub next to those 10 identical diamond lion statues. You could just place it over there, sir. And he got like a whole like nose job, facelift, tuck job, everything. His whole face looks completely fucking different.
Just pulled back, like, yeah, like
and
just
pulled
yanked
back like a exactly. And they realize they're trying to pay the guy, and they're like, they're out of money. Do you know what this means? Your wife is gonna kill you for dipping into the emergency savings fund. Even worse than that. Even worse. All right, I give up. What is it? No money means no animation. And then the animation just goes away, and they show like footage of the voice actors like in the studio, just talking to the mic. And that's when I saw Tara Strong for the first time. I'm like, oh, that's the voice of Truffles. And I'm like a little 10-year-old watching this. And I got perpetually horny. Because the way they decided to raise money was by having a car wash. So Tara Strong is like wearing this shirt, right? That like goes up like above like her midriff, right? Like you can like even see like her belly button and shit.
Like a little crop top kind of shit.
And like that woman is she's a healthy girl. Like that is a busty ass woman right there. So I'm like a little 11-year-old, and suddenly in my cartoon there's this crazy sexy woman on top of a car on all fours, like wiping soap all over it with her shirt a little bit of the way up. And I'm feeling things I've never felt before watching a cartoon. All of a sudden. So that is where I got like a little bit of my straight affirmation, if you would. It was so wild, and then the animation went back, and I was sad because they made enough money, and they were able to afford it again.
David, let me ask you: if a lifelike, let's say, robot.
Remind me to send you that clip, by the way. After
Yes,
this.
please, because I want to see Tara Strong in her wet T-shirt. But
it was literally a wet. I'm like, this is a cartoon. Like, Jesus Christ, this woman is. Tara Strong, if you're listening to this, you're too hot for TV, and I mean that in a good way.
yeah, I do agree. After seeing that picture, I was just like, why is she a voice actor?
Because it's what she likes. She's one of the most talented ones ever. The voices that she does are fucking ridiculous.
She has the face for TV, though. That's
well,
what I'm saying.
But I don't. So do I. But I don't want to be a voice actor.
No, but she's a woman though.
No, but I don't want to be an on-screen actor.
I think, but that's what I'm saying though. She could be on TV if she wanted to, and she could probably do it very well as well.
She used to. She's guest starred in some shit.
Nah, but like starring though. I mean, like being
I don't know
like a real like cast member. Like
yeah,
for
I don't
a
know
real
what her
show.
resume is. But
Just
anyway,
look at her
what
IMDb.
was your question?
If let's say they came out with a with one of them robots, right?
I already
But
know where
this
you're going
one
with this.
looks exactly like Tara Strong. Dimensions, everything. Everything is exactly picture perfect. From the bust to the ace. Everything. you wouldn't tell me? You wouldn't like even think about it?
But is it skin?
Yeah,
what am I
it's skin.
holding?
Yeah, it's still skin.
Whose skin?
No, look. I'm saying this. Everything about it is 100% human-like. It's just basically like just some spits like thing underneath and everything that obviously is, you know, metal and nuts and bolts. But at the same time, the pussy, the mouth, and the asshole all work. The titties are as human as they could possibly feel like, and the ass as well. David, I'm asking you as a guy.
I'd obviously feel flustered, like I'd feel horny if it's that lifelike in my presence and
she's so civil and convivial. It's like, hello, David. It's like she like welcomes you home and shit, and you're like,
"Hello, like, David." Oh God, say it again.
Like,
ow, shit, my head. Hit my fucking headset on the microphone. Ow.
I don't know, David. I think I wouldn't judge you either way.
I'd be tipped off because I'd be like, "Whose skin is this? Did they get it from like a hobo?"
No, it's like imagine they could make like a very human-like synthetic skin.
Yeah,
like it felt real good, like to the touch. Like you basically
3D printed, I guess. It's plastic.
Yeah. I mean, 3D printing is basically like it's not really getting there, but it's getting there. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a problem, like, you know, fucking 10-year-old kids like printing titties that they found on the internet.
People be printing out like fucking 1-to-1 models of the Great Wall of China, like out in the fucking backyard. It's just like, hey, we made this, dude. Like, what'd you use? I don't know.
I don't know what it is, man. It's made of something.
Yeah. So come on, David, answer the question. Would you or would you not? I think you would at least test drive the thing, if anything.
It depends on how long it's been since I've last had sex.
So how many years would it take? Or a year? Or a month? Whatever.
I'd say probably like maybe 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
4 or 5 years like without sex, then I would probably do it.
And if it was legal to marry this thing, would you?
No.
But would you really need another woman after that?
I think Tara Strong's hot. I don't necessarily would like her as a person. She's like
Okay.
she's like a neoliberal dude.
Okay, but I'm saying if Tara Strong was like your dream girl,
Oh my god.
like, would you really need a real woman? Like, I'm just saying, like, you got everything you could possibly want off of this android thing, cyborg, whatever, and literally will do everything you say, on command even, and we'll basically take care of everything. You don't need to worry about a thing, and she'll just take care of you in every way that she could possibly think of. Would you really need anyone or anything else at that point?
Yes.
Why? What? What is it? What is the other thing you need?
Maintenance fees.
On the house. Paid for the state. Whatever.
What fucking fantasy land are you talking about where that would happen?
This is why it's fantasy. That's why I'm saying in a perfect world, would you really need anything else? If everything was taken care of. If everything was taken care of. If everything was taken care of.
If it's a perfect world, you keep whittling it down. Every time I say no, you're gonna be like, oh, but now this, and now this.
That's why I'm
and now
saying,
this over
because
and
I
over
know
again.
you want
You're
to
just
say
whittling
yes.
it down to the point where I would say yes.
David, you're also making it difficult on yourself too, because I know for a fact if this thing came out tomorrow, you would be first in line. Got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. We got the boy. I mean, also, it'd be like some real crazy news. It's just like Tara Strong. I think she'd probably sue that company.
Oh, gee, you think?
But it's like, it won't stop like the 400,000 people to buy the fucking thing.
Oh my fucking god.
David, I'm just saying. I think you would, and I think
I don't
want to
give. I don't want to give up on like the idea of a woman organically.
No, I'm not
loving
saying
me.
that. I'm just saying in that whole universe, like you would obviously buy it, yeah.
I mean, there's the context.
And that is?
If I can't find anyone else, and it's been years and years to the point where I'm just like so without love and neglected, like in a hypothetical world where I was an actual incel, maybe. Other than that, no, I would rather have somebody actually loving me from the heart, not because they were fucking programmed to. Dennis, like,
you're one person. I feel as if a lot of people would just kind of be like, fuck it then, and just like buy them like en masse.
Well, they somehow have less self-respect for themselves than I do.
I don't even know if that is like a question of self-respect, because I mean also one thing, if you were some like basically like ugly fuck, not even not you. I'm just
I don't
saying,
want
like,
an obedient slave. If she's
No.
literally like a person,
but you gotta
like if
think,
she's literally like so human like that she acts like a person and has her own independent thought, then yeah, maybe if like to the point where I literally forget she's a cyborg, then that's a little different.
So can you imagine a Quasimodo looking motherfucker getting any pussy? Realistically? Like for that guy, yeah.
What if he finds some Quasimodo pussy?
Quasimodo don't want no Quasimodo pussy. He wanted Esmeralda. He wasn't thinking about nobody like looking like him. He wanted her.
Good point.
That's
That's a really good point.
Even ugly guys don't want ugly women. That's a fact of life. We don't want, even if we're like a 2, we don't want our women equivalent of a 2. That's a fucking fact. And that's why I'm saying for those guys, I think where it's just so ridiculously hard to date, because one, it's like no matter, let's just say like even if you had all the confidence in the world, they just can't look past the fact that you're ugly. They just can't look past it, like, because it's like, yeah, this guy's real cool, he's funny, but my God, is he ugly? like for that guy, yeah, this thing would be the fucking perfect solution. Which, again, there's no shortage of ugly people out there. And again, for something like this, where it will do everything that you say to the T. Well, even if like when you say jump, it'll ask how high. This thing's perfect. And
I genuinely have no response to that.
Because I have a feeling, at least a part of you feels that I'm right. maybe at least the bit where if you're that fucking ugly, I mean, there's always plastic surgery, but it's like I feel as if that android is going to be cheaper than plastic surgery. By, like,
I mean,
20,
can I like
2000.
can I be with like an actual like organic woman as like my
Let's like
wife?
to call them organic women.
Like a wheel girl. Can I be with a wheel girl and then just also have this thing as like our third, like our unicorn?
I mean,
our thruple unicorn.
That'll also depend though if the lady, the organic lady, the meat bag, is fucking
Meat bag.
is if she's into it. Because like, I could definitely see women hating these things. I could definitely see them like really detest these fucking things because they're gonna be like, it's gonna be half of them are gonna be like, where'd all the men go? It's like
It's gonna be like support groups for like like women whose husbands have left them for like a little robot that looks like Christina Hendricks.
Christina Hendricks, Christina Aguilera, every
Christina-
freaking Britney Spears
who
when she was
else?
young. When she was young,
Pre-cracked Lindsay Lohan.
pre-crack Lindsay Lohan, Vanessa Hudgens. Literally every fucking cute girl you could think of, like they would basically say like, we got that model, we got everyone you're looking for, we could even customize it. For
Women
you.
and feminists alike would be protesting the shit out of whatever company is making this thing.
Yeah, but again, and then the guys will step in. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like,
No, I think it's fucked up. I think that would cause more of a detriment on society than what we have now. I think that would already like really decrease like the fucking understanding gap between men and women. I think
and that
would make
gap
a lot
is
of
pretty
gender,
large already.
I think that would make some gender issues that are already pretty bad
like a
10
legit
times worse.
You think a legit war, like legit like women?
Isn't
would
that
be-
a thing in like Blade Runner anyway? Like, don't they like have like some replicants that are literally just made for sex?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a thing in that movie. And Blade Runner ain't a happy place.
they got persecuted. Those bots.
Yeah, dude, because they were literally slaves. If they escaped, they were captured or killed. That's the whole fucking plot of that movie, is that he's sent after like a couple of replicants that escaped.
I need to see that new one because I heard it was actually really good.
I have
that
not
Ryan
seen
Gosling.
that either. The one with the Ryan Gosling. You want to talk about like
Why- why
you want to talk
Gosling?
about like who the first fucking like man who like was made into one of those bots would be. Suddenly it wouldn't be an issue, right?
Because he's handsome. I don't want no Quasimodo looking guy like
My
to be
fucking wife
Blade
left
Runner.
me for like my wife left me for fucking a Ryan Gosling bot. A Ryan Gosling Tron. I was in the new Blade Runner movie. Would you like to suck my synthetic cock? Have you ever seen The Nice Guys?
Okay.
I worked alongside Russell Crowe.
Okay, but it'll also like their behavior would have to be, what do you call it? Like at least human-like. They can't just like
No, of
choppily
course. They
walk
wouldn't
up to
actually
you.
talk like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be like, "Would you like to lick my clit?" It's like that would turn me off immediately. Yeah, it would have to be basically as human-like as the Blade Runner bots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe like you had like a dominatrix mode on that. You just flipped it on. It's just like, lick my boot, bitch.
Oh god. All right, I think we've exhausted this. It's looking like it's time to wrap.
Yeah, that hypothetical went on a lot longer than I thought it would go.
That's pretty much as long as last week, but hey, just in case you forget, which you probably did, I don't know. This podcast is sponsored by.
Wait, David. Can you do it in a robot voice? Just for, continuity's sake.
All right, sounds good. In case you forgot, this podcast is sponsored by Rise Cold Brew. You can check them out at risebrewingco.com. If you like organic, nitrogenated cold brew that has a natural creaminess and frothiness to it,
Beep boop bop.
then you can purchase it here. We just released the new oat milk vanilla flavor. If you like vanilla, it is bomb, 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 bomb,
Beep, beep,
bomb,
boop, bop,
bomb,
beep,
bomb,
boop, bop.
bomb, bomb.
Beep,
And
boop,
if
bop.
that's not your thing, there is also organic oat milk in original vanilla and chocolate flavor.
I'm legit
It is
sweating.
also really good. I would taste it myself, but if I did, I would die because it would corrupt my hard drive and my RAM and circuit modulator. The only way I can smoke weed is if I upload the weed to my hard drive, just like in the Sonic 06 dub. And that is Rise Cold Brew for you. Thank you. Thank you, promo bot. I'll take it from here. If you really like
Bot-tunist.
this podcast, Bot-tunist or Ninbotanist.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make like a fucking picture of all of like the different versions of you. It's gonna be like the Edit-tunist, just like there at the fucking editing table. There's gonna be just a robot version of you as Bot-tunist, and then it's gonna be you.
Well, if you like what you heard on this podcast, we're available pretty much wherever you get them. So if you don't like this particular platform you're listening to it on, we're also on some other ones like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, all that good stuff. Radio Breaker as well. That's another one, I think, or whatever it's called. Also, youtube.com/Nintoonist as well, if you like the little video that plays in the background of our neon lights as well. We're very proud of that artwork. We really like it a lot. It's the background of my phone. I'm pretty sure it's the background of Dennis's phone.
I do have it as a graphic on my email.
Sometimes we make them touch. It's kind of sweet.
Touch.
Anyway,
Robot
definitely. Yeah, baby, let me move your parts. If we rub our metals together, it will produce a spark.
Would you like to bake a child?
It's like two robots fucking. Dude, that's like two robots fucking. We already know what that sounds like. That sounds like those old ass printers.
Tink, tink, tink.
No, that sounds like those old ass printers from the 90s that once you hit that big green button and it says go, it goes chunka 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 chunka. Oh, baby, that was fantastic. He's just splurting like oil everywhere. Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, you can go ahead and follow us on all those platforms and share the podcast around if you enjoy it. If you want us, because if you want this podcast to grow, that's up to you in terms of sharing it and putting it on your feeds and whatnot and letting people know about it, or just sharing clips around from the Double D Pod Twitter account and also on Instagram at the Double D Experience 21. All that good stuff. If you really want us to grow, you have the power to do that. Share it around, help us out, whatnot, blah, 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 all that good stuff. It's a labor of love, folks, and if you want to return some of that love, it's up to you, but you just listening does that as well. So thank you so much for watching this episode, listening to it, whatever. Depends on what platform you're on, I guess. Technically, you do watch the Double D Experience if you're on YouTube. You're just staring at, like, the fucking... You don't take your eyes off the screen at any given point. You're just watching, like, the logo bounce around, like, for an hour and a half straight.
At that point, you guys are robots, then.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Dennis, closing thoughts?
Donate to our OnlyFans. Lights off.